Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive deep into a topic that's been making headlines and capturing attention around the world. Ukraine's deadliest weapon yet, and its singular mission to take out the Crimea Bridge, Kerch Bridge. We'll explore what this weapon might be, how it works, why the bridge is such a strategic target, what Russia has done to defend it, what Ukraine has already done, what the risks and implications are, and what this could mean if the bridge were seriously damaged or destroyed. I'll try to keep the ideas clear and precise. Ukraine's push to find a mission, kill a weapon for the Crimea Bridge, comes from the fact that this bridge is more than just concrete and steel. It's a supply lifeline, a symbol, and a logistical backbone linking Russia with occupied Crimea. The bridge spans about 19 kilometers over the Kerch Strait, completed in 2018, to assure a permanent roadway and rail connection between Russia's mainland and Crimea. Because of its strategic value, the bridge has been repaired many times after past attacks, and Russia has heavily fortified its defenses around the bridge. Anti-air systems, patrols, decoy targets such as barges to confuse missile radar, and underwater detection and protection are all part of that defense. What does Ukraine need from a deadliest weapon? To achieve the goal of disabling or destroying the Crimea Bridge in a meaningful way, there are a few essential capabilities: range, able to strike from far beyond the reach of many Russian air defense systems so as to avoid detection or interception before target reach; payload/destructive power, enough explosive force or structural damage to compromise support pillars, spans, decking, or underwater support. Anything that would make use of the bridge impossible or require massive repair. Stealth or evasiveness, either through low-flying cruise missiles, sea or underwater drones, amphibious or underwater vehicles, decoy use, or electromagnetic/electronic warfare to degrade or fool Russian radar and defenses. Precision to hit key structural points rather than spray and pray, so that damage is maximized relative to resources used. Sustainability/repeatability, because a single strike might not do it. The enemy can repair or bypass damage, so multiple reliable threats are needed. What weapons or systems does Ukraine already have or is developing that could serve this mission? There is Sea Baby, an unmanned surface vehicle USV developed by Ukraine's SBU. It can carry a heavy warhead up to ~8, 150 kg, and has been used in past attacks on Crimean infrastructure, including the bridge. The FB-5 Flamingo, a ground-launched cruise missile, revealed around August 2025, with a large warhead ~1, 150 kg, and very long range ~3, 000 km, is another strong candidate. It gives Ukraine the ability to strike from a far safe distance. There is the HRIM-2 ballistic missile system. It reportedly has ~300 km range, a fairly large warhead, and higher speeds, which make it harder for defenses to intercept. Past Ukrainian operations have used underwater explosives. On 3 June 2025, the SBU claimed an attack using 100 kg of explosives placed underwater beneath the supports/pillars of the bridge, damaging them. Mixed packages, cruises like Storm Shadow/Scalp, British/French long-range cruise missiles, and possibly other standoff weapons, are frequently discussed in analyses as the kind of tools that could deliver a disabling blow, especially if combined with suppression of air defenses. What has Ukraine already done, and what effects have been observed? The underwater explosive attack in June 2025 is perhaps the most recent major operation targeting the bridge's foundations/pillars. It temporarily closed the bridge for a few hours, and the Ukrainian side claimed significant damage. Earlier attacks in 2022 and 2023, The bridge was hit multiple times. For example, July 2023 saw USV attack it. However, critics and some military analysts say that the strategic importance of the bridge has somewhat decreased. Russia has shifted some supply routes and made redundancy via ferries, etc. So the bridge doesn't carry as much of the military traffic as before. Also, much of the damage has been temporary. Repairs have been made repeatedly. The harsh marine environment, Russian efforts at maintenance, and continual reinforcement make quick fixes possible. On the Russian side, what defenses are in place to protect the bridge? Air defense systems, SAM surface-to-air missiles, anti-aircraft batteries, radar installations. These make low or high-altitude missile or air attacks risky. Decoy measures. Target barges with radar reflectors placed near the bridge to confuse or mislead missile targeting systems or laser/radar guidance. Underwater defenses. Monitoring of underwater approaches, possibly mines, or protective systems around pillars. Surveillance to detect underwater drones or sabotage. Repair capacity. Having engineering units able to patch damage, replace supports, restore traffic quickly wherever possible. This resilience reduces the long-term impact of damage unless it is severe. What are the challenges facing Ukraine in deploying a weapon that could truly knock out the Crimea Bridge? Detectability and interception risk. Many of the weapons must cross or approach heavily defended airspace or maritime zones. Russian radar, anti-aircraft, and naval patrols are alert. If launch platforms are discovered early, interceptions or countermeasures may neutralize the strike. Precision targeting under difficult conditions. Marine environment, changing tides, currents, weather, underwater structures, strong foundations, etc. All make hitting the structural weak points precisely very difficult. Underwater pillars are hard to access and monitor covertly. Repair and redundancy. Even if parts of the bridge are damaged, Russia has proven able to do repairs. They may also shift supply traffic to ferries or alternate routes, reducing immediate effects. Risk of escalation. Damaging or destroying such a symbolic and substantial target carries diplomatic risks, could provoke stronger Russian responses, and could affect international support. Resource constraints. Long-range weapons, especially ones with large warheads or high complexity, are expensive and limited. Ukraine may only have so many. They need to choose when and how to use them. Also, logistics of transporting, preparing, and launching such weapons under threat are non-trivial. Attribution and verification, even after an attack, assessing real damage, especially underwater or structurally, takes time, and often the other side will deny or downplay impact. Satellite imagery, independent verification, etc., may lag or be uncertain. What would be the consequences if the Crimea Bridge were seriously disabled or destroyed? Logistical constraints on Russia. Less ability to move troops, equipment, supplies between Russia mainland and Crimea. The bridge serves rails and roads. If that link is severed, supply chains would be disrupted and forced to use less efficient methods, ferries, detours. Symbolic impact. The bridge is a symbol of Russian control over Crimea. Damaging or destroying it undermines that narrative, boosts Ukrainian morale, may affect international perceptions. Operational flexibility. Ukraine could gain more freedom of maneuver in southern fronts, reduce enemy reinforcement speed, complicate Russian defense planning, possibly help in counteroffensive operations. Economic cost for Russia. Repair costs would be high, both direct infrastructure repair and lost logistical efficiency. Potential escalation of conflict. Russia might respond with stronger or broader attacks, possibly targeting civilian infrastructure or altering tactics. There is risk to civilian traffic also if the bridge collapses or is partially destroyed. Given all this, what might the deadliest weapon, that Ukraine is using or considering really look like in practice. A mixed assault combining underwater drones / unmanned underwater vehicles, UAVs, or sea drones with powerful explosive payloads to damage or destroy underwater supports. These are stealthier because underwater transmissions are harder to detect, and such devices can approach from less defended paths. Very long-range cruise missiles with bunker, buster, or concrete piercing warheads launched from outside Russian air defense range. These could target spans, decking, supports above water, ballistic or quasi-ballistic missiles like Shrim-2 or others, which have high speed and possibly trajectories that complicate interception. Use of decoys / multiple attack vectors simultaneously, for example, loitering munitions to draw out defenses, drones or small USV to distract, sea drones to approach underwater, cruise missiles coming from different angles. Use of long-duration preparation, reconnaissance, placement of sensors, hydrophones underwater, intelligence gathering over many months, possibly mining, placing explosives underwater in advance. Integration of foreign-supplied long-range weapons and European cooperation, more Storm Shadow / Scalp, Taurus missiles, etc. Where things stand as of the most recent data, mid-2025. The June 2025 underwater explosive attack is a major example. 100 kg of explosives used underwater temporarily disrupted traffic, damaged a support. The Sea Baby USV have been used in several past attacks. FB-5 Flamingo, a missile, is in serial production and may give Ukraine an over-the-horizon capability. HRIM-2 missile claimed to be in serial production with Tilda 300 km range. Russia's defenses remain robust, plus repair capacity and redundancy reduce the effect of isolated attacks. What might be a plausible scenario for Ukraine to successfully take the bridge out or at least render it unusable for a long time? One possible sequence: reconnaissance and intelligence gather detailed information about structural weak points underwater, pillar foundations, spans most vulnerable, current in water, tides, etc. Target defense systems first, suppress or blind radar, SAMs, anti-air threats, naval patrol. Possibly via loitering drones, electronic warfare, or secondary strikes. Simultaneous multi-vector attack, underwater drones, or UV or sea mines activating beneath support pillars, cruise missiles striking spans or decking, ballistic or glide missiles delivered from land or sea, USV possibly attacking lower portions or under structure. Damage control prevention, block or neutralize defense reinforcements, prevent engineering repair teams from reaching site quickly. Maybe strike during times when maintenance operations are low night, early morning. Follow on reinforcement, multiple sequential strikes if needed to prevent patch-ups, keep pressure. Also propaganda / psychological operations highlighting damage to erode morale or support. Diplomatic and media strategy, making sure global attention is focused on the breach, verifying damage via satellite imagery, etc. To increase cost to Russia politically and materially. What are the risks or downsides of such operations? Collateral damage, civilian traffic, environmental damage, harm to innocents, shipping, maritime traffic. Retaliation, Russia may increase missile strikes on Ukrainian cities, infrastructure, escalate conflict. Failure or partial success. If damage is insufficient, Russia repairs or reroutes traffic, and Ukraine expends key weapons with limited payoff. Resource drain, using up valuable long-range missiles, munitions might affect other fronts or defense capabilities. International reaction can provoke debate or criticism, especially if civilian casualties or infrastructure are involved. What is the likely outlook? Will such a weapon succeed? Given the improvements Ukraine has made in its unmanned systems, long-range missiles, underwater capabilities, plus increased foreign support, it seems increasingly plausible that Ukraine could field a weapon or a system capable of seriously impairing or disabling the Crimea Bridge. But the nature of the target means total destruction is hard. Making it inoperable for long periods is more likely than permanent removal. Even with success, Russia's ability to repair is not negligible, though damage to underwater supports or multiple spans at once would raise repair times and costs significantly. The symbolic cost and disruption could be substantial even if not total destruction. In conclusion, the mission Ukraine seems to have is: find or deploy a weapon system or combination that can strike the bridge's structural core supports, pillars, underwater bases, ideally from a distance or stealthily, with enough punch to prevent easy repair, while overcoming or evading Russian defenses. Whether that weapon is a new missile like FB-5, or a sea drone or unmanned underwater drone, or massive cruise missiles, or combinations thereof, it will need careful coordination, intelligence, planning, timing, and probably more international supplies. The contest over the Crimea Bridge is therefore not just about metal and explosives. It is about will, engineering, strategy, resilience, and symbolic power. Thank you for sticking with me through this detailed look. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss future breakdowns. Let me know in the comments, what do you think is the most promising weapon or strategy for Ukraine to succeed in this mission?